Allie here, and not liking it one bit. The fucker's painting the poor girl with her own blood? He's got a screw loose, I gotta tell ya. The Philly Grind presents Samuels finishes his new painting. Thomas lay next to her when they'd finished, each breathing deeply. Their lovemaking had caused the flow of blood to increase, and he playfully drew designs on her stomach and breasts. "Stop the blood now. You promised," she said weakly. "Then we can make love again." Her words wouldn't have made a difference, but for the first time, she had lied. He heard the plea in her voice, but also the manipulation. "Let me live and I'll let you fuck me again," playing with his mind. He admired her so, but refused to acknowledge. "You disappoint me, Yvette," he said instead, feigning despair. "You had been so true to yourself, yet now, out of desperation, you try to deceive me. I wish you hadn't. I don't want you to die, I truly don't. But you leave me no choice. I won't be manipulated. It's a side of you I loathe." It was the last words he spoke to her. He continued to lay next to her, their eyes locked on one another. There was a hint of fury, of betrayal, even self-recrimination at her deception. Then she crumbled, and for the first time she cried. An hour, maybe 2 passed, and her eyes clouded. And like his beloved Yvette, she was gone. Naked, caked with her blood, he went to his easel and began to paint her, the scar on his face pulsating with life. He had thought long and hard about his failure to replicate his Yvette, and had come to the conclusion that too much time had elapsed before he had been able to paint her. Her soul, which he thought he had carried within him, had spoiled like a raw hamburger left on a table too long. So now, before he disposed of this girl, he would paint her. How long he painted, he wasn't aware, but he painted until he had emptied himself of her, until every fiber of her being was on the canvas. His paint, along with her blood, hair, fingernail, and juices from when they'd made love. When he was done, in spite of his vows to his lover, a part of him had fallen in love with this child whose name he never knew. And while he knew he had to dispose of her for self-preservation, he refused to simply dump her like yesterday's newspaper. You are listening to the Philly Grind production. How can so much pain lead to so much growth? Discover the grit and grind of personal growth in a world where everything is against you. Find out now. Visit thephillygrind.net.